Welcome to the 10-Minute Treasurer. My name's Jeff Pospisil, and in this video, I'm going to make my predictions for the upcoming year. I've been doing this for the last few years, and it's kind of fun. But the main reason I do it is because a lot of times I would hear people say, "Oh, I felt like that was going to happen," or "I knew that was going to happen." And I think, really? Did you believe that that was going to happen strong enough to put your predictions down on paper, or in my case, post it in a video? So that's what I'm going to do. Before we do the 2023 predictions, though, I want us to look at how I did for 2022. So this will give you an idea of what kind of a prognosticator I am. So for the Bills, I predicted them winning the Super Bowl, and sadly, they were 13 seconds away from winning the Super Bowl, is my belief. If they would have beat the Chiefs, they would have been the Super Bowl champions. The next one is that Liam would launch successfully into college, and he's my oldest son, and he's doing awesome. So I did get that one right. So I'm 1-1. The third one would be that there would be a great recession, the second great recession. And there's some controversy around this one. The government won't declare a recession, or so whoever declares it, there's been debate on that. Well, when the stock market goes down 20% and gas prices go up and all these other prices go up, this one feels worse to me than 2008, 2009. So I'm going to give myself credit for that one. The next one, though, and this is one I don't know, is I predicted both Methodist foundations, the Dakota's Methodist Foundation and the Minnesota Methodist Foundation, would both be at $50 million. And I really don't know how they're doing. I left that job, so I don't know for sure. I don't think they did, so I probably don't get credit for this one. The next one is that our cat would pass. We have a diabetic cat that must be 14 or 15 years old, and he's still alive. I know I still have about 2.5 days to this year by the time I'm filming this, so we'll see. I could still get this one right. For my sixth prediction, I predicted that I'd be at 1,000 subscribers. And to start the year, I was at 300 subscribers, more or less. And guess what? Now I'm at 700 subscribers. So it is a lot of good growth. And I'm so thankful for being able to connect with so many people. But this one does not count. I did not get this one correct. For the seventh one, it was social media reform. And I am going to give myself credit for that because what's happening with Twitter, although it's not government reform, it's coming privately. I think that's probably a positive shakeup in Twitter. And then also, the government seems to be trying to reform or somehow manage TikTok. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but those are two big ones that some kind of reform is happening there. So I'm going to give myself credit. The next one is that there would be a female president, and I got that one obviously wrong. I really thought that with the stress of the job, a pandemic, there was a lot going against President Biden there, but give him credit. He's toughing it out and doing well. The ninth one was that there would be general conference for the United Methodist denomination, that they would do their big global gathering, but it would be a dumpster fire. And I was wrong in that there was no general conference gathering, but it is still a dumpster fire. I'm surprised. My joke was that general conference has almost an infinite ability to disappoint. And by them not meeting, I think they actually did more harm than if they would have met. That's my own opinion. I think it would have helped this whole transition that the denomination is going through. So that's too bad. My 10th one was that I'd be able to maintain inbox zero. And this one, I'm going to give myself partial credit. For the Dakotas UMC, when I was working for the Dakotas UMC, I finished out those, what would that be, 7.5 months. I was really, really solid. I think I was inbox zero every single day. But then when I transitioned over to Dakota Wesleyan, I am very far from inbox zero. So that's, I don't know, email, it's a pain. But so I give myself credit on the Dakotas UMC side, but no credit on the Dakota Wesleyan side. Oh well. Since I'm now a professor, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a grade, and I got a 35%. But because this is such a big challenge, it's very difficult to do these kind of predictions, unless you choose super safe things. So I'm going to go ahead and grade it on a curve, and I'm going to give myself a C minus. So this is very difficult, so that's why I'm doing it. So let's go ahead and look at my 2023 predictions now. I'm going to go ahead and do my predictions in the same way that I did last year, where I start with the thing that is the most sure bet, the thing that's almost a given, and work my way to the ones that are a long shot. And so the number one prediction is that the Buffalo Bills will win the Super Bowl. This is a sure thing. You can take the money to the bank. You can make the signs already. The Buffalo Bills will win the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to go ahead and make another repeat prediction, and that's that I'm going to achieve inbox zero for my Dakota Wesleyan email this year. So I know I can do it. I've done it before for the Dakotas UMC. I think I can do it for Dakota Wesleyan as well. And my third prediction, which also feels like a reheated leftover at this point now as well, in that I'm predicting 1,000 subscribers again. So I'm at 696 currently, and I'm predicting that I'm going to be at 1,000 by the end of the year. So we'll see. So like, subscribe, share, and that would be awesome because you might make this one not be a 2024 prediction. My fourth prediction is that my wife, Betty, would hold a regular job. And that might not seem like a big thing for most people, but it really is for us because for Betty, she fell ill back in 2011 with myalgic encephalomyelitis. And because of that condition, it was hard enough to even care for yourself, much less hold any kind of a job. And that for more than a decade, work was the farthest thing from our mind. But as of the last couple of years, she's been doing substitute teaching. And then before the pandemic, she was also involved in doing some online teaching. And I believe that if her health holds out, that she'll hold a regular job and not just substitute teaching, but a regular position. So whether that's self-employed or employed, either one would count in my book. But so if you do pray for us, I ask you to pray for my wife's health especially. My fifth prediction is that the US debt would be downgraded. And that hasn't happened since 2011, and that was the only time it happened. But I believe that we're in a position now where the economy and the rising debt makes us at risk of having our debt downgraded. So, yeah, I think it was 2011 that we were downgraded from that AAA status to AA plus. So we'll see what happens, but that's my prediction. My sixth prediction is that there will be over 100 Global Methodist churches in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. It seems like there's some growing urgency there, and we'll see. There's interest in churches becoming Global Methodist, or at least exploring it. We'll see if there's the follow through, but there may be as many as 100, and I'm going to predict over 100 churches will be Global Methodist by the end of 2023. So my seventh prediction is that Dakota Wesleyan University would see a 10% increase in their enrollment. And I know I just started working here at Dakota Wesleyan. What was it, about 5 months ago? So maybe I'm sucking up. That might be part of it. That might be influencing my prediction here. But I have been very impressed with how Dakota Wesleyan does not seem to be content to be a regular university, and that they really, from the top on down, trying to be something better than just offering information to people and hoping they'll pick it up. They really want to be catering to lifetime learners, and so I'm predicting that we'll see a 10% increase in enrollment And I want to say, and I don't know if I should add this, but I think I will, is that enrollment will also be 10% for those students on campus, not just the ones that are online, but also those that are on the ground. So, all right, that's my prediction. For my eighth prediction, I was going to predict there was going to be a shortage of some kind, and I decided that there would be a coffee shortage. Ever since the pandemic started, we've had different shortages, from toilet paper, if you remember that, and currently it's amoxicillin. So I'm going to predict that sometime during 2023, we will have a shortage and it will double the price of coffee. So this is the coffee I normally buy. It's a 30-ounce canister of McDonald's coffee. It's normally $12. I'm going to say it's going to be about $25. For my ninth prediction, my daughter Ella, she's going to be going to Greece this summer with the school. And I predict that she is going to meet a special boy that she's going to have a connection with, and they're going to stay connected with even after the trip. For my last prediction, you might remember how President Biden, I want to say it was either in probably August of 2022, had announced that they would forgive $10,000 to $20,000 of student loan debt. Well, the government kind of piddled around and then it got caught up in the courts. I think that will be abandoned, but I do think that there is enough concern or frustration with how higher education is financed that there will be student loan reform, that there's going to be some kind of reform in that area that'll make it better for the students. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but there will be some kind of reform, is my final prediction for 2023. So what do you think? How'd I do? Do you have better predictions or do you have doubts on my predictions? Go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them, love to see them. So otherwise, like, subscribe, share, because that's one of my goals. You got to get me to 1,000. Otherwise, I'll see you in 2023. God bless.